So what are we doing, guys? What's this all about?
No, you're now officially live, Pete. Okay, so we are, well, technically you've been live for the 5 minutes we've been open, but we're now recording. So the whole point of this blab, and welcome to Gabe, that's just joined on the as a viewer there. So the whole point of this blab was to kick off our 2016 marketing campaign, which is called 60 Days of Disruption. So the whole point of this campaign is to put out a new piece of content every day. So I think to kind of set the scene on what we're doing, Jack, why don't you talk us through what 60 Days is all about and your vision
what
for
he was
this?
saying was we're doing a campaign, so 60 days of content from, I think we're going to have around 30 different influencers in the sales and marketing world. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get like a little bit deep in the weeds with executives on kind of why, digital is not a nice to have anymore, but a must have, right? So we dive into a variety of different topics from, data, influencer marketing, social selling, marketing automation, social media marketing, paid, organic, and kind of the importance of all of these things. Video is one of them, and all the importance of these things that you need to have in your marketing toolkit now, or you're going to be in big trouble, right? And I don't think there's so much content out there that talks about a little fluffiness about why you should do this or why you need to do that. But really, what we're trying to achieve is we're trying to get these top influencers as well as our team to give you data and facts behind why you have to do this stuff. Like there's no choices anymore. So, Pete, I would love for you to elaborate on that.
Yeah. So I think what's important for people to understand is that the idea of this is just to try and put some content out there to help people, right? So, we're a marketing agency. We focus on helping people generate either demand at the top of the funnel, conversion and nurturing in the middle, or closing the sales at the bottom of the funnel. So we're trying to help our customers all the way through that funnel. And on our journey, we meet a lot of great people. We try a lot of great technologies, and we do a lot of things. Some work, some don't work quite so well. And I think this is us starting the year by trying to encapsulate, with some of our friends out there, the way that businesses can get a return on their kind of sales and marketing activity. I think so, getting value from it for me seems to be, our kind of underwriting theme.
Right, Jason.
I think. What are your thoughts?
You hit the nail on the head that we don't necessarily do this kind of thing very well ourselves, because, and what I mean by that is for our own business, we do it for clients very well, and we focus all of our efforts on our clients' demand campaigns. But I don't think we do it proactively as an agency. So we wanted to do a couple of things. One, I think, was to show clients that this is quite possible. We talk to a lot of clients, even very large clients, who think that they've got to completely re-engineer the way their marketing departments are structured to enable themselves to be publishers of this kind of information, which they don't necessarily need to be. I think they can start quite simple. And I think what Jack's shown us is that by actually leveraging influencers from around the social sphere and from other digital platforms and connections that he has online, it enables us to be able to pull a lot of content together very quickly and get it out for I wouldn't say is minimal effort. It takes a little bit of effort, but it doesn't take the kind of effort that perhaps some of our clients maybe think that it does. And I think the other important thing is that we're trying to get real high quality content out as well. This isn't just about sort of pushing stuff out that is available elsewhere and is very much the same as the kind, run-of-the-mill stuff that is available all over. It's trying to create something that's a little bit different. And I think finally for me, being able to kind of convey that story as well along the way, share our experience, share how we're capturing, I think, engagement and opportunity, but also then pulling it into the way we're then replaying our marketing back out to the marketplace in terms of how that ongoing engagement might play out through the channels. So how a social connection might turn into an email connection, then might turn into an offline connection and a real relationship, which is really what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm going to come to Jack to talk about content in a second, but I think one of the things I just wanted to say, which is I think in relation to one of the guys that's actually watching this Blab Live. So, Gabe put out a piece last year on what social selling can do for a funnel. And for me, I think that was a real inspiring piece to read, how, some practical steps could lead to a measurable funnel. So I think there's kind of two parts to this program for us. One is genuinely to go and get content and put content out there that we think is going to be useful, engaging, supportive, and all of those things. But the other thing is actually just to show people also how you can measure a program like this. So we're also setting this up to measure multiple channels. So we're going to be doing, a whole mix of paid, owned, and earned. We're going to be doing social amplified. We're going to be using different channels. So also we're going to do this as a properly measured content marketing program. So at the end of our 60 days, obviously we'll put a lot of content out there, but also we'll be able to generate a nice case study to then play back to people. What did we find that worked in this market, right? So what gave us, the impressions, what gave us the clicks, what gave us the conversion, what channels went on to nurture for appointments for us as an agency to talk to, or just, how many individuals did we get connected with to help support? So, I think it's going to be really interesting to play back to everybody the kind of the data from the campaign. But ultimately, 60 days is just 60 days with a new piece of content every day. So every day, starting tomorrow, we're going to have a single piece of content that's going to be featured on our blog. And that will either be a thought leadership piece. It could be an ebook that we've either created or worked with a partner to create, or somebody's provided with us to create, or it could be a video. So that video could be an overview. It could be a 2-minute hack. It could be a how-to guide. But, covering the whole spectrum of sales and marketing, we're trying to think of lots of things we can put ticks in the box, to try and help people. So, will all 60 apply to everybody?
Yeah, so
of course not. I shouldn't imagine so. But
I think what we're trying to prove here is 3 things, right? One is the model of value, and putting out the hottest content, but not having to put all of our resources into it, right? One thing I think that brands are missing right now is the simple fact of collaboration, right, with content, and we can kind of prove that model, right? We've worked with a ton of great, proven thought leaders in the space, and we'll do some trade outs on content, right? They'll help us, and then when it comes time to it, we'll give them some content, and we're not going to pay for any of this, right? Like, none of the content that we're bringing onto this channel is going to be paid. There's no money exchange, but you're going to get a ton of value because we've asked all the influencers to give us original content. And the second piece to that is give us content. We kind of give them direction, right? We don't want any fluff. We want, straight data, numbers, and we want you to talk to an executive because, there's so much content out there that doesn't speak to an executive, it doesn't really get them to buy in. So that's our number one objective, right? We want them to understand the power of it. And then we lost Pete. But the second piece to this is putting people through the digital journey. So as you sign up or you get involved into our funnel, watch how we do things, right? I think that we can actually teach other marketers, the power of the journey, right? And Jason, you've done a really good job in our team to put people into a journey so they get a ton of value, and you can kind of see how that works. So if you're a marketing, watch the way that we message to you.
No, it's a good example. So we will be doing some quite nice things. So the campaign's going to be backed by a marketing automation platform. So we'll be able to share the prospect scoring data based on the engagement. We're going to be deploying dynamic website personalization to people that come and visit the pages, but then come back again to recommend content. We're going to be featuring this around a blog, and obviously we're going to be tracking downloads of documents and videos too. So like I said earlier, I think the content's about no fluff, but ultimately this is about how we can measure a campaign too, which I think is quite exciting. So our first piece of content kicks off tomorrow. Our first piece of content is about influencer marketing. So I think one of the interesting things that happened to me last year was I started to appear on influencer marketing lists. And I'm pretty sure that's because I've got quite a high clout score, not because anybody bothered to look at my following. And I think there's a big difference between having influence and being an influencer. So we wanted to go and analyze that. So, our first piece of content is actually some social analysis of 9.5 million Twitter accounts, which people think are marketing accounts that they're influencing. So this is the big question is, are there real influencers out there, and who are they and how do they influence? So we're going to do an investigation of social data. We're going to explore this word of influence, which in normal terms I might say it's not such a big deal, but there are big brands out there paying big money for people to write pieces and to write tweets and things like that. So genuinely, if you're spending a lot of money on that, is it money well spent? Have you thought about the audience? What's going to happen to it? So what return would you expect? Because it's a little bit like snake oil at the moment, I think. We wanted to do a little bit of investigation. So our first piece is a little bit of, investigatorial around social analytics for influencers. And then we're going to go on and talk about content marketing. We're going to feature topics like social selling. I mean, Jack, who are some of the authors that we've got content coming from in the next 60 days?
I got some backlash. Is that echoing? So I would say we've got Tim Hughes coming on, who's great in social selling space. Jason, I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to have some killer content. Pete will have some killer content. Gabe Villamazar will have some of the killer content. We've got Kelly Loubet, who is really well known for building Origami Owl. She's going to have some really cool stuff on social media. We've got Eric Vidal from Marketing Scope, who's going to be dropping some really good stuff on webinars marketing you're going to want to see. And we've got Miles Austin. He's writing about some video stuff. And let me tell you, his piece is awesome. And then we've got some other people. One of the things is I didn't want to have quote unquote influencers, people with big audiences. I wanted people that I know that were doers, that were doing some amazing work behind the scenes with marketing. So there'll be a little bit, less well-known people, but the content is going to be like in the weeds of things that they're doing that are getting ROI results.
Sounds great. So I think, we're going to obviously be seeing this content out through our channels. If anybody's watching this, the website is blog.creationagency.com. So we're going to start with our first piece of content tomorrow. Our URL is Creation Agency, but our blog is on blog. So, either check us out on Twitter or come find us in the blog. And I'd just like to sign off by saying that, if there are people out there that have content and something they want to contribute, then, please don't be shy. I mean, we're trying to pull out all the stops here. I mean, like Jack's joined us from the 60s. Look, so we've managed to dial in somebody from the 60s to talk about social selling. Pete is in the weeds of digital marketing every day, working with customers, what channels are working, where we generate leads from, what's the cost of lead and all stuff like that, and I'm certainly thinking more about, from a channel perspective, what strategy is working to get people mobilized, into a campaign, and we're just three guys, right? And we've managed to get some people to help contribute. So, if people have content out there, then I'd say, just join in. We can turn 60 days into 80 days, into 100 days. We can keep it going. So, if you've got a piece you want us to share, either contact all three of us or one of us and say, look, I'd like to get this featured, or, I've got a video, or can you promote my webinar or something like that? Because, this is the year of giving back, and I think it's sad that so many people are talking about personal branding in 2016, which sounds a lot about helping themselves and not about helping other people. So, for me, the 60 days is about just trying to put something out there and show people how we're doing it and how we're helping customers
you're in
today.
sales. The cool thing about this is I think we involve sales and marketing, but a lot of the content is not just sales or it's not just marketing, right? It's sales and marketing, which is pretty cool. The social selling content is going to be really good. I've read, a few of the pieces that have come in already. And I think one of the major components that a lot of organizations are missing and that content's missing today is connecting the dots from how leads come into marketing and then passing it over to sales in like a unison coming down the funnel. So you're going to kind of see how, not only how to generate the leads, but then how to pass those off to sales and how sales can go into a full on engagement, not just with the phone or not just with email, but actually on social and do it effectively, to get value and then move people offline, earning the right to ask for their time and money or business. So that'll be fun. I think that, most campaigns you see, they're either geared towards sales or they're geared towards marketing. I think ours is up right in the middle with most of the content. Would you guys agree on that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what was that?
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Pete.
what was that, Jack?
Jack said, did you agree with that? I think, it is, and I think our position is that, we're helping customers better align sales and marketing, and, whether it's about flattening the funnel or exploding the funnel or whatever it is, finding somewhere bringing salespeople closer to the data that's available at every point in the sales funnel is really important. So, I think we're going to try and have lots of disparate pieces of content that talk to a different topic, but then at points try and get it back together again. And, I hope that on this journey of content, we can get back on Blab, invite some people in that have written some of the content and kind of give a bit of a thought around it and discuss how the content's going, what content's resonating with the audiences, any kind of feedback we've had. So, so like I said, just wrapping up, we are launching tomorrow. Like I said, our first piece is on influencers. So that won't just be a blog piece. That'll be a full report with a load of data behind it that you can download. That's going to be available on blog.creationagency.com. And then we will surprise you each day with a new piece of content. So please look out for it. Thanks, James, for joining the Blab now. So I look forward to your feedback on the content too. And like I said, if people want to add more stuff to the story, please jump on the back of this. We're trying to put some content out there to help. So, the more contributors, the better, really. So we're launching with 60 days. And like I said, if this turns into 360 days, then
maybe that's our challenge, right?
Nice.
To start with the 60 days and see if we can, throughout the journey, get up to 365 days, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, well, I was taking 5 days off for Christmas.
Okay. Well, this is great. So we love everybody to, be engaged, help share the content, right? That's what it's going to be all about is if you like it, be an advocate, help us out. We put a lot of time into this, for our audience, and, we're here for you and whatever we can do. So thank you guys. And I look forward to this.
Yeah, me too. And I think I come straight on this Blab after reading a brilliant Forrester white paper called The Death of the B2B Salesman, that's saying that 1 million salespeople are going to lose their jobs in B2B between now and 2020. And those are the ones that don't get into multi-channel, that aren't able to talk to customers across social and things like that. So, I'd like to think, we're going to be doing our little place, not just for the marketers out there, but also for the salespeople that, want to be relevant in a new multi-channel, everybody connected, always on world. So, I think any advice we can bring, especially from you, Jack, on the social sales side, and the team out there to help people, I think it's a really strong message. So, I'd like to thank everybody that's been contributing and look forward to everybody's feedback on the journey.
Well done, guys.
Thanks, guys.